My name is Erin Donlin, and I'm a realtor here in Indianapolis, Indiana, if you didn't know that already. And today I wanted to do a quick video about the residential multifamily market here in Indianapolis. Now, I get a lot of questions about these properties, and I thought it'd be easier just to put all my thoughts into one quick and easy video so you can reference it now and into the future. So let's get started. So the first thing to know about residential multifamily here in the Indianapolis market is there aren't a ton of those kind of properties. We are primarily a single family market. I have some basic housing data here on the screen, and we can see the vast majority of our market is either detached or attached single units. The residential multifamily, or 2 to 4 units, you can see only makes up less than 10% of our market. So even though these numbers are just from Indianapolis, I will tell you if you go outside the city to the surrounding communities, you will find that there are probably even less multifamily properties. To underscore this point, I wanted to take a quick look at the available inventory. Right here, we're looking at residential single family, and just looking at the active single family homes, we're just under 4,000 homes. Now, if I switch this to multifamily, take a minute, you can see that number drops to less than 150. So again, when I say Indianapolis is a single family market, that's just what it means. Primarily the properties we have available are single family homes. Next, I want to talk about the prices of residential multifamily. Compared to other cities, the Indianapolis market is fairly affordable, and that is primarily a reason a lot of people like to look here. However, just like most markets in America, we have seen prices increase dramatically in the last 2 years. Prices continue to hover around an all-time high here locally. Here on the screen, I have a report showing the average sales price for all single-family homes in the last 12 months, and you can see that sales price is around $314,000. Now, if I take a look at that same data and only look at the residential multifamily, you can see the average sales price from the last 12 months is drastically different, just over $185,000. So you may ask, why such a discrepancy in pricing? Well, again, our market is primarily a single family market. That's what most buyers are looking for when they go to look for a home. We are at near record low of inventory, so builders are going to build what buyers are demanding. Currently, single family new construction makes up about 25 to 30% of our available inventory, so that's a huge driver in pricing for single family homes in our market. On the other hand, most of the multifamily inventory in Indianapolis are properties that are very old. We're talking turn of the century, 1880 to about 1930 construction. Taking a look at the sales from the past year, I saw homes as old as 1800 have sold. So typically when you're looking at a multifamily property here in Indianapolis, you're likely looking at a property that could easily be over 100 years old. That comes with all kinds of different challenges. You're dealing with a 100-year-old plus foundation and probably things that need to be removed like asbestos and knob and tube wiring. So all these things have to go into account when looking at pricing a multifamily home. Let's take a look at where most multifamily properties are found. If we look at a map of the city from the sales from the past year, you will see that by and large, most of the multifamily properties are located in and around downtown. Now, this is a very diverse area. You have areas that have experienced great changes in recent years, like Fountain Square, Bates Hendricks, and then you have areas that are still maybe a little questionable. So you really want to do your due diligence if you are looking in this particular area. As you can see, there are multifamily properties located outside of the downtown area. Not a lot, but these properties are typically newer construction. We're not talking brand new, but newer, typically 1950s and up. These properties usually feature things like garages or central air or other updated features you may not find in properties inside this 465 loop. Because these properties are newer, they do typically rent for more, but that means you also have a higher price point and higher property taxes. Let's talk about some of the pros and cons of owning a multifamily home compared to a single family home. Now, the biggest pro is multiple sources of income. With proper planning, you should rarely have multiple units vacant at the same time. So you would still be generating some income from a property. With a single family home, when that house is vacant, it is not bringing in any income. Another pro is just being able to scale more efficiently. When you're only buying one house at a time, it becomes very hard to scale with any kind of ease. When you're buying multiple multifamily properties, you're able to grow how many units you have very quickly, or at least quicker than buying just one house at a time. You could also look at doing something called house hacking, which is living in one unit and renting out your other unit or units. That will allow you to not only possibly eliminate your mortgage payment, but also put less down on a multifamily property by using FHA or another type of conventional loan that will allow for a smaller down payment for an owner-occupant. And lastly, as we saw in our market, price is a big pro for multifamily, at least compared to single-family homes. You definitely get more bang for your buck when you purchase a multifamily home. Now let's talk about some of the cons of purchasing multifamily. Like I mentioned, in our market, most multifamily homes are typically older and will require more maintenance than your standard single-family rental, especially if you're looking at properties inside the 465 loop. Typically, we're talking properties that have about a 100-year-old foundation and may include other outdated building practices such as asbestos and knob and tube wiring. I always encourage my clients to do a full inspection on any property they buy so they understand the full extent of work that needs to be done before purchasing. Another con is that multifamily properties aren't that desirable of an option for most tenants. They do typically rent for less per square feet compared to a house of similar size in the same area. And I will tell you, some property management companies do not even want to manage them because they can be a bigger headache than your other standard rentals. And the last con is location. It can be hard to find a property that has all the amenities you want and is also in the location you want to be in. Chances are, if you do find a multifamily home in a more desirable area, the price is going to be on the higher end, and you may find the property may not cash flow as much as a property in another area. Not to mention, taxes are also likely to be higher, and that will cut into your cash flow as well. In my opinion, success with multifamily and really all rentals come down to three things. One, finding a property and make sure you do your due diligence on it. This is not limited to just the property, but also the area surrounding it. Two, maintain the property. Fix issues as soon as they arise, and this will help contribute to the long-term success of your property. Three, property management. Now this goes back to my last point of just maintaining the property. I've had many clients, especially recently, to have issues with their property managers, and really your property is only as good as the person you hire to watch over it. A good property manager can make or break a property. So again, do your due diligence on who you want to maintain it, because that can be just as important as the property itself. So I'm interested to know what you think. Are residential multifamily properties a good long-term investment? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you have any other questions, as always, I can be reached through any of my social media handles found here. Thanks, and talk to you soon.